This is a Remembrance Day like no other as Canadians honor veterans under the shadow of COVID. Here on the south lawn of Queen's Park, Premier Doug Ford unveiled this new memorial for the 158 Canadian soldiers who died in the war in Afghanistan. The crowds here were small to see this unveiling because of the pandemic, but soldiers past and present were still honored and remembered on this day of reflection.
Like many nations around the world, we gather together on November 11th to remember and thank the millions of Canadians who traveled far from home to serve our country in times of peace and war.
Remembrance Day 2020 takes place in strange and uncertain circumstances. We're in the midst of a global pandemic. We are all vulnerable and must remain vigilant.
We face a new enemy in COVID-19, and we must take care because our health and safety is paramount. Today, we stand united as a people, as a province, and as a country in paying tribute to our heroes.
And as we begin the rebuilding and dare to dream of a better normal, those who have served in our armed forces provide inspiration. Working together in common cause, members of the Canadian Forces have been there for us every step of the way. On the front lines, in long-term care homes, in cities and towns as reassuring neighbors and leaders.
Among these heroic individuals are the First Nation veterans who gave their lives to protect our land, traditions, and families to ensure that we are still here today. Nearly 7,000 First Nation men and women bravely volunteered to serve and fight for a country that at that time didn't even consider them equals.
Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you, from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields.
Now I want to show you a little bit of this memorial, and it's loaded with symbolism. Over here, so we're on the front lawn of Queen's Park, and these two taller pieces, well, they represent the Twin Towers, which of course were felled in New York on September 11th, and that led to the war in Afghanistan. But I love this part because it's a Canadian soldier helping an Afghanistan mother and child. The texture here represents, it's a beautiful texture, and it represents the mountainous region of Afghanistan. And over here, this is really quite remarkable. This is a stone from an Inukshuk that Canadian soldiers built on the airfield of Kandahar Airport for their fallen comrades. And again, 158 soldiers died in Afghanistan, and I can tell you that according to Canadian Affairs, more than 118,000 Canadians and Newfoundlanders have died in wars in uniform since Confederation.